What's happening, YouTube? This is Carlos with C&L Small Engine Repair and Lawn Care. Uh, New at this, so I'm just going to do the best I can with it anyway. But the reason I'm even started doing the YouTube thing, it wasn't to, make some money or anything like that. It's just I see a lot of guys in the lawn care, and I'm kind of new into this. I did it about, I don't know, 30 years ago when I was a young man. I worked for a pretty big company here in North Carolina, was a crew foreman for them. But a lot has changed in lawn care since then. So a lot better equipment than what we used to have. I'm telling you, fellas, these edgers and all this, we used to do that by hand. I don't know how many people's ever used a manual edger to edge the sidewalks and stuff, but it ain't like what we got today. I just went and bought a steel combi unit with the edger on it. I got the KM91, I think. Yeah, that's what it was. I got that, and it does pretty good, but I've just been playing with it. And I live in West Virginia. We ain't mowed the first lawn yet, and that's one reason that I'm coming to you on this channel. I see a lot of these guys, and I'm not knocking nobody. I ain't knocking nobody. Anybody that can do lawn care and make a living at it, or small engine repair, whatever, you're doing something right. But I do have a small engine repair shop, and so that cuts down on a lot of my overhead. I don't have to pay a mechanic or a technician to work on my equipment and that kind of things. And I'm a Briggs & Stratton parts dealer, so I get my parts a little bit cheaper than what some would. But anyway, reason I'm starting this channel is like this, guys. I see a lot of guys out there, and they tell you their story, but they tell you their story. Hey, this is what I done 5 years ago. This is what I done 3 years ago. Maybe this is what I done last year. I'm going to take you through from day one. I have not cut the first lawn this year. Like I said, man, today was a good day up here. I think it was like 50 degrees. We won't be cutting lawns for another couple weeks. But I'm going to show you my setup and just go through it. On the small engine repair side, which I ain't going to talk a whole lot about that on that video, because not at my shop right now, actually at my house, but in my garage here. But I am going to show you a few things. This is my setup right now. You can see behind me, I have a Husqvarna 42-inch, and see if I can get that in. That red one right there behind me is a Craftsman 46-inch. That's what I'm going to start mowing with. And do I want, a big stand on? I don't really care much for zero turns, man. I'm in West Virginia. We got too many hills for a zero turn. I just don't think that a zero turn, unless I got one with a steering wheel type deal, would help me a whole lot. I'll just be honest with you. I do too many. Right now I've got 9 lawns, maybe 10. I'm waiting on one to call me back, so I'll probably get that one. Probably 10 lawns to do, but I'm not wanting a whole bunch of lawns. I'm not wanting to go anything over 20 lawns. I just don't want that many. Like I said, I do run a small engine repair too, so I have to have time, maybe cut 2 lawns. I'm a solo guy, so I don't have that employees to go out and do all that. So maybe cut 2 lawns in the morning, 2 lawns in the evening, and then be in the shop working on equipment the rest of the time. But anyway, I guess I'm just all over the place, but sorry about that. But hey, again, I want the big mowers, but I'm trying to show that you don't have to have all that to get started, to make money. I've got some stuff. I own both these riding mowers. And shout out there to Spencer's Lawn Care. I was watching his video, how he started. Started about the same way I did. Walked into your garage and said, hey, you know what? I've got a Craftsman mower. It's paid for. I do have a backup mower, which that Husqvarna will definitely be a backup mower. It's a lot newer than this. Craftsman is a YT 3000 46-inch cut. Absolutely love this mower. I'm not kidding you, man. It's just a perfect size mower for the conditions around here. If you get too wide, you're scalping this and scalping that and hanging up and tearing up turf. But anyway, the reason I'm making this video, for goodness sakes, if I can get to that part, is to show you don't have to have all this big fancy equipment, and to take you through step by step, how I'm doing it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'll fall flat on my face in 5 years from now. I'll look back at these videos and laugh. But the mindset I've got right now is this is what I'm going to do. And my story is this. I've worked medical for years and years and years. I've sold medical equipment, 8 years on an ambulance as an EMT, 2 years as a hemodialysis technician. I worked 8 years for a hospital bed company, delivering hospital beds, specialty beds. Worked delivering oxygen to the veterans and things like that. That was my last job. And they canned me. The last job I had, they fired me for something that was totally ridiculous. And I thought, you know what? I am so sick of this crap. I am so sick of not having any benefits. The workforce ain't what it used to be. Neither are the employers. They don't want to give you anything, you know, as far as benefits and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about no handout. I'm talking if a man works 50 hours a week, he should be paid for 50 hours a week. He shouldn't be paid for 40 and work 50. And his insurance for him and his wife cost him $800 a month. Now, that's where I'm at. Tired of working for somebody else and being broke all the time. No matter how much money you've made. Like I said, I've made the big money. I've sold medical equipment. I was still broke. But part of that was my fault, though. I mean, you know, you live in that dream, man. You got them toys and all that. But it's not that way anymore. You know, I turned 50 and I said, shoot, I've done this, man, for 34 years, I think. Something like that. I've been working for somebody else. Well, I'm working for me now. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this work for me and my family. And if you're in that same boat, I'm telling you, folks, there's money to be made in lawn care and things like that. Anything to do with this industry, there's money to be made in it. You just have to watch your P's and Q's and not go out here and make a bunch of mistakes and get into a bunch of debt. Go buying, you know, before you cut your first lawn, go out and buy a $9,000 mower. No, I'm older and wiser than that. But I'm going to show you my setup. Like I said, I showed you my Craftsman YT3000 and my Husqvarna. Let's go out here. Oh, before we go, hey, I had a 1976 CJ5 Jeep that had been restored, frame off restoration, which was my girl. I mean, man, I loved that Jeep. Let me tell you, she was a doll baby, but she was a garage queen. I put so much money in it, I didn't even want to drive it when it was raining. I mean, it was ridiculous. It sat in the garage, in this garage. And if you notice, it's not here anymore. The reason being is I sold it. I sold it to start this lawn care and all this. And I went and bought myself a used 10-foot box truck. It's like the little U-Haul 10-foot van, 1 tons. That's what we're going to go out here and look at now. I'll show you my setup right real quick. Might get a little bright out here. It's getting in the evening, but it is bright. This is my back of my truck. I don't know how well you can see all that in there, but I had bought the steel KM91R with an edger. I had that steel FS85 right there, and I went and bought that backpack blower you see back there. It's a steel BR430. That little mower you see back in there, that's just a little old Troy built that I had bought. A guy called me last year. He cut his grass with it one time. Gosh, I am making a terrible video, but anyway, he sold me that for 50 bucks because it wouldn't start. So I took it home, cleaned the carburetor out, and it's run ever since. I bought a little battery operated hedge trimmer. You know, got it for $75. And that little thing surprised me. Look, guys, I repair small engines, so I am like hating the battery operated stuff right now. It's kind of worrisome. But I just didn't see, I've got 2 accounts that's got some small box hedges. Well, man, I don't need no big powerful edger, no, hedge clipper. You know, I just don't. So I went and bought these racks. You can see my stuff's hanging on. I went and bought them at Walmart. They were 15 bucks a piece. I put them in here, and man, they hold. I was surprised. I don't know if you can see how I got that or not, but man, if you got any questions or something, you can holler at me. But I put them things on there, and you know, they have a little bounce to them, but I just screwed them into the sides of the truck here. I mean, you know, I had to put me a 2x4 behind it to space it out for the engines and stuff, but There's another look at the blower and the little snapper and the Troy built. And I just got me some ramps. I mean, nothing, you can see the ramps laying there on the floor, just ramps to put up in the truck so that I can get in here. And I got me some hand tools over in the corner. I just screwed that to the wood too, put it in there. Guys, if you never used Garage Boss, man, they make these gas cans, but the lids fit just about everything you got. So I didn't know this when I started out. It might be something that you want to think about getting if you're new to this. I mean, there's a lot of little things that I didn't know when I started. I wish I'd have known when I started. But apparently you're not allowed to transport just a gas can, with the regular old spout on it. DOT will eat you up for that. And so I got me some Garage Boss lids to go on my gas cans. I'm going to carry a 5-gallon can and a 1 gallon for mix. That's about it. Because I carry my other little pouches to mix it up into 1 gallons. But like I said, man, I'm only doing 3 or 4 lawns a day. It's not like I'm going to be out there doing 20, So, but anyway, guys, if I can help you out in any way, man, with your small engine repair, holler at me. If you're out there and you're in lawn care and you're trying to fix your lawn equipment and things like that, I know that stuff can get expensive. I mean, around here, $75-$80 an hour to work on lawnmower. I think that's ridiculous. I don't charge but about half of that. But anyway, I stay busy, so I guess that's the key. But anyway, guys, only thing I can tell you, man, is stay with it. That's what I'm going to try to do. At C&L Small Engine Repair and Lawn Care, our motto is this: in God we trust. Because without God, without the Lord, none of this would even, you would just, if I could had more time and tell you the whole story, how things have worked for me. The Lord, I know, is behind all this. I know it's going to work. So the only thing I can say is, if you don't know Jesus, man, you got to get to know him. I mean, it's awesome the way that he just goes before you, man, and sets everything up for you. Everything just falls right into place. And I'm not saying that, you go out, run out and get saved or something and whatever, however you want to say it, look at it, and everything's just going to be, ice cream with sprinkles on top, because that ain't the way it is. But when you learn to start trusting in him, things just fall right into place. I mean, it's amazing what he can do for you, and what he will do, what he promises he'll do, and he keeps his promises. But anyway, this was my setup. Like I said, I'm going to take you through this journey step by step, one piece at a time. And we'll go through every bit of it together. So if you're a noob out there like I am, because I am a noob, I know I'm a noob at this stuff, man, especially running my own business. I've watched Jonathan with Florida Turf Pros and Brian's Lawn Maintenance and Blades of Grass, Johnny and them guys over there, the ninjas. And, I've watched all them guys. And most of them's got their stuff together. Then you watch some of them guys out there that stand, oh man, you got to have this mower. You got to have this. No, you don't, man. No, you don't. Not to get started, you don't. Anyway, any ways I can help you guys, I will. Only thing I can say is be calm and mow on.